السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وعلى عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت وأعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت وأبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين. Inshallah, we will continue our study about what Iman, belief, is, and what the opposite of belief, which is denial, is all about. Their, if you like, their nature. What do they, which kind of qualities they have, and what is the effect on our life. Now, I would like, of course, we all are waiting for Anne's introduction to the class, and we would like to hear what she has to share with us today.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
So we started the 23rd word last week, and we discussed how the Surah 95 ayahs 4 through 6 introduce this 23rd word, and it's in fact the 23rd word seems to be a commentary of those particular ayahs from Al-Tin. And we talked about what the lowest of the low means, that it's the darkness of disbelief, where man falls to a position fit for hell. In contrast, the highest of the high is the light of belief, and where man acquires a value worthy of paradise. We talked about how belief connects man to the all-glorious maker. It is a relation. If it's severed, the dominical art is concealed. And due to that severance, man's value then really is only in respect to the matter of his physical being. And then Nursey introduces this idea of how every human being is an antique work of art. And the question Brother Murmur had was, why antique work of art? And Brother Murmur suggested that the use of the word antique brings news from an otherwise unknown world, the unknown world being guided. And then Fariha made a comment in the chat box that we didn't have time to discuss. So I wrote it down and I thought maybe we could discuss it a little bit more, which is that the value of the antique is in the eye of the beholder. And I wanted to ask if we could talk about that a little bit more before we keep reading, because I agree with Fariha. That was the thing that came to my mind when Brother Murmur asked us about why antique. You can look at something that's an antique and see no value in it whatsoever. It's just not, it just doesn't look to you, it looks to you like a, maybe something old and dusty. Because you don't know the value. In fact, it could be worth much, much more. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the use of this word, um, antique, that man is, or humans are an antique work of art. And that's my summary and comments from last week.
Excellent. And Fariha wants to talk, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair, and for a beautiful summary. Really helps
Oh,
me
you.
reorient
Thank you.
where we left off. So yeah, that also caught my attention, the antique piece, and hence that comment. Pretty much, I think it relates to our daily life in terms of and how the author was walking us through and where the discussion was going, and pretty much what you said about how we are viewing the world, because each of us, is experiencing the universe, interacting with the universe. So let's say there's person A and there's person B. If they're looking at a duck, person A may be perceiving it in terms of, oh, look at the beautiful color, shape, and so on. And person B may be just admiring, the duck sitting in a pond. Just a small example, but as far as what you were saying in terms of the human being, pretty much how we view the world determines our putting value to it, which brings meaning to our life. So if I just see myself here for a temporary time where I grow from babyhood to adulthood, or maybe I don't even reach adulthood, if you don't know, right, when death is given. So then, it becomes pretty much just like a short-lived life experience, and that's pretty much my worldview. But in the light of what the author is walking us through, and in the light of the Quran and belief, if we were to look at this universe where every created thing is pointing to its creator, or it's a beautiful duck is making us question the source of existence of this beauty that I find myself in relationship with, which ultimately points to my source of existence, its source of existence, and the source of existence of the whole universe, then hey, an antique work of art can be deemed useful because it's bringing meaning for me, which is like in an eternal form, like an everlasting meaning, which is exactly what I need. So I think it's really one's perception of their existence and the universe determines what they're putting their worldview into. So even let's just take like maybe like a flower, or not even, like everybody loves flower or anything. Sometimes, how we say an insect, fine, we're like, oh, I don't want you in my house, but it's created, it's there for a purpose, it's serving the whole ecosystem. And just being taking it as a messenger from its source of existence helps one you know, work out their belief. So what I'm trying to get at, you may have person A and person B sitting down in the same room, an insect passing by. Person is like, oh my goodness, an insect, just like a really insignificant thing. The other person would say, hey, it's a messenger from its creator. Wow, it's also created. Not only us humans are created, but like, every little things which we may deem insignificant, it's created. So hence that antique or piece of work um, may be valuable for one person and may not be that valuable for another person. And value we're talking about in terms of making the divine connection to the source. So I'll just leave it to it.
Thank you. Thank you for both of you, to both of you. So it is what I understood from the both of you, what you both of you said is there is an expression in English, I believe I'm using it right now. I'll tell you. The beauty is in the eye of the observer. But my friend says, yes, correct. It's used in English. Yeah, on the beholder, not the, yeah, the same thing. I think beholder. Yeah, that I have to correct myself. Thank you. So, as I mean, Anne presented it and Feriha summarized it. So when we see a piece of anything, it's the same thing. Here, the example, a piece of antique work. Why antique work? We studied last week. Every creature, every being in the world is an antique world, bringing news from its source of existence. Exactly, the antique words which are displayed in the museums bring the news from the time and space where they are made and brings this news to the present day. So by looking at the same matter or material, if somebody sees it as an antique work, it gets the news from thousands of years ago, which kind of people, which kind of civilizations they lived and they developed and whatever. So he learns. When he looks at the same material, this person sees it as a message bearer, not as a piece of metal or clay or China, yeah, not a matter of China, but a message bearer. But if a person doesn't want to see it and deals this material as only its physical appearance, it becomes a scrap. I mean, worth nothing. That is why the beautiful example, is given to us. As we see the world, as we see the creation, of course, whatever is existing out there, and a person who says, look, I see a matter is doing something by itself. That's what it is. It doesn't see it as a work of art, bringing news about its artist. Doesn't see it. It will, in the following paragraphs, we will read more detailed analysis of this observers or beholders' world view. Why somebody looks at it and sees the same material, same object, as piece of pottery or an antique work, but the same material. It doesn't change anything. That's why we always mentioned in these Hamim discussions that materialist people look at the universe and say it is happening by itself, and happening like this, it doesn't bring any news from its source of existence. And another person who says, but it is interesting, it cannot happen by itself like this. So there must be an artist who created it, who made it, and who reflected his artistic qualities, artistry on it. So I have to see it and analyze it and see the manifestations of its artist. Depending on one's attitude, intention, which kind of description or how, the best way of putting it is, how one sees himself. I think the key point here, how do we see myself? If I have an arrogant attitude, I am a self-sufficient being, as I am, or how, doesn't matter, how, as I am. So that's the claim. I am as I am, then this person will see the material, same universe as it is. But if someone says, accepts that, oh, I have been blessed with existence, beautiful life, and all human qualities which cannot be attributed by material body, flesh and bone and blood, impossible, they have nothing to do with each other in nature, in their essence. My feelings, my intellect, consciousness, or power to see, power to think, has nothing to do with matter. Matter is just dump being. So modesty or arrogance, as the Quran puts it clearly, people go astray because of arrogance, seeing self-sufficient, self-existing by itself, or modesty accepts that this is my reality, I shouldn't cover it up, and accept it, and accordingly think about my life, accordingly evaluate the creation around me. Depends on human beings, and we have free will. We are given free will. That is the beauty of human beings. We are given free will. We have to know the responsibility. We have to be aware of the responsibility. You know, they say freedom is not cheap. So human free will seems to be, you can really use it in any way you like, free, but it is very costly. That is why we have to watch out our choice, how we are dealing with our free will. Are we really taking it for granted, or it is a very valuable quality in my existence? I have to use it carefully. It is very precious. I have to use it carefully. It depends on people's intention, whatever they prefer, however they prefer to choose, they are free. Consequences brings the responsibility for the person himself. That is why everything, or the result of our life, is the result of our choices. We have to be very careful. We cannot say, God punishes me, God is angry with me. No, God is just begging me not to make the wrong choice. That's it. Reminding me through his messengers. Beautiful summary of last 2 weeks' discussions, mashallah. So we can continue if there is no more comment. Would you like? No. Anyone in the room? Would you like to make more comment? Otherwise, we can ask Anne to read the text paragraph by paragraph, and we can study them, inshallah, together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where we left off. Thus, man is such an antique work of art of Almighty God. He is a most subtle and graceful miracle of his power, whom he created to manifest all his names and their inscriptions in the form of a miniature specimen of the universe. If the light of belief enters his being, all the meaningful inscriptions on him may be read. As one who believes, he reads them consciously, and through that relation, causes others to read them. That is to say, the dominical art in man becomes apparent through meanings like, I am the creature and artifact of the all-glorious Maker. I manifest in my existence his mercy and munificence. That is, belief, which consists of being connected to the Maker, makes apparent all the works of art in man. Man's value is in accordance with that dominical art, and by virtue of being a mirror to the eternally besought one. In this respect, the insignificant man becomes God's addressee and a guest of the sustainer, worthy of paradise superior to all other creatures.
Any comments?
How would you define dominical?
As we said, sovereignty, I think, is the better word. It means being sort of a surveying or sovereign. No, how do you say?
No, it's right. You said it right. Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Yeah.
All over the universe,
Yeah.
owner of the universe, ruler of the universe, administrator of the universe, and takes care of the needs of the beings in the universe, maintainer of the universe, sustainer of the universe. He is the one who is responsible for everything, from their existence, from providing what they need. Each creature arranges, keeps the peace in the universe. Only human beings may rebel. They are free to rebel. Otherwise, everything is totally submissive to his sovereignty. That is what Dominicality, this strange word, maybe it exists in Latin or Latin English. But this is a literal translation of the original word, rububiyya. And I think the rububiyya is also not very well understood by native Arabic speakers as well. It needs somehow special study. That is why it is difficult to translate. Yeah.
Thank you.
So any other, so everything is related to belief. Belief means, I mean, this is a mysterious word, actually. Let me do this first. Oh, dominical art. How can we replace with another word here? That is to say, the dominical art in man. This, I don't know, sovereignty doesn't go here. No, it doesn't go here. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't actually think that there's a replacement for dominical.
Yeah.
It's used by Nursey throughout his writings, and once you get used to it, it seems like a really natural word to use. No, I don't think you can replace it with a synonym.
I think if you can find any one word which really conveys the message, mm, dominical art. We can say maybe miraculous art. No. So any another suggestion? So now, what is this belief? I mean, in English, this word is a bit it's open to misunderstanding in English, I think, because iman means in Arabic original having secure in your conclusions, in your whatever you are seeing or doing. I am in peace with what I said because I feel secure that I have no problem about it. I'm comfortable about it. So secure in your conclusion, and I am in peace with it because the root word has these two meanings: security and being in peace with something as amnesia, and also uh, being just to in your judgment about something. It means giving the right of something to whatever or whoever deserves it. So it means take me not, guarantee, guarantor. It's also comes from this word. It has many flavors of different meanings in it. But belief and especially faith seems to be just an abstract notion, which is, well, I don't know how a native English speaker feels about it. I have faith means, no, I trust, but most probably. No, I have faith in you, so I trust you. It means, am I right?
I would take it as confidence. I am confident.
So I am a kind of confident in one thing, but that is not bad. But usually it is not used for guaranteeing. Guaranteeing, I'm absolutely sure it means. Otherwise, I cannot accept any other alternative. Anyways, this is word, but it is used here to represent something, of course, to represent as the author is mentioning and repeating relation. But whether you relate your existence to a source apart from yourself, that is, belief is a relation. Unbelief is cutting this relation. It means I don't relate my existence to anything else but to myself, to my own self. But people say, no, 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 I relate my existence to nature, matter, the development of matter, evolvement of matter, or activities in matter. But it is still disconnecting from its source of existence, but reducing it to its constituent composing elements. Like, for example, the very simple example, of course, looking at a building and Iman in this belief, in this example, I'm going to use a simple, extremely simple, elementary school example. Looking at the building and saying that belief is this building of course, in bracket, together with all elements used in its being. The, the windows, the bricks, the plaster, and ceilings, or whatever, the doors, every element all together demonstrates that they are made by a builder, a mason, or designed architect, and they build it. And relates the existence of the house to builders, whoever the people, conscious people, did it, deliberately made it. This is iman. Iman in the builder who is not here, like remember the piece of antique. So bringing news about something which is not immediately apparent physically in front of my eyes. So antique also the same. So for example, if I make something here and take it to the museum, this is antique today. Now, they will laugh at me because they know that I made it today. But it doesn't bring a news from thousands of years ago civilizations occurred, some civilizations. So, but if a person says, I don't say that building exists by itself. No, naturally developed is an accidental, random activities of its constituent composing elements. Look, it is this connection. Why? Because although it is referring to the elements, but elements are still the part of the building. It is not really referring to something else. So denying the conscious makers, workers, builders, architect of the building. That is why if someone says, which I heard or read, people say, no, we say also everything is a cause. Even some says everything is a creator. What is this? It's elements. Activities of its elements, or chemical reactions of its elements. But still exactly the same thing. I am attributing to the existence of the building to its constituent elements, means bricks and sand and glass, pieces of wood for the window and the door, and some tiles. I don't know, whatever the other elements are there, but this is still in the matter itself, in the building itself. So it is not a piece of art. It is just as it is. It doesn't really it doesn't have any value other than itself. But when I say this is a beautiful architecture, and it is artist is such wonderful, conscious man who worked on it and deliberately designed it. And the builders worked on its existence, and they really spent some labor on them. I have to appreciate them. I don't appreciate the bricks, the wood. They are unconscious beings, blind beings. Wherever you put them, they are there. Since I have been living in this house for many years, the window is there as the builder put it there. Never changes its position. It has no option. If I don't open it, I don't never see one day it opened by itself, unless a thief comes, breaks it. Otherwise, they have no choice, no power. So we have to be careful when they say, we believe also causes. Causes what? Now, I believe that the bricks caused the building to exist. Or some said creator. What is the creator? The nature of the bricks. Nature. That's what they say. But they don't say it as clearly as I said it here, but they always said, no. One of them argued very severely that we believe in the causes as well. What causes this thing to exist? He said, yes. He said, we believe in the causes as well, the causes of existence and creator. The creator's nature. Creator is the matter itself. By acting by itself, as if the piece of, again, antique, somebody says, the elements, this chemical or physical elements, the atoms or molecules of this metal made itself in this form. Does it bring any news from thousands of years ago, civilizations? No, the thing itself has made it. That's it. It is here in front of my eye, in front of my eye, in my hand. So the creator of the metal of this, or the metal, which is antique, piece of antique, is its elements. That's what materialist idea always turns into a vicious circle within itself, of the matter itself. We have to be careful while they use this kind of languages. Tricky languages they use. They don't clearly and straight away use, for example, the things created themselves, because it is impossible. I mean, the thing created itself, no human mind can accept it, because if it, in order to create itself, it itself should have existed before. And then if it exists before, how? He is going to create himself. Itself is already existing. Logically impossible to accept. They don't use this, but the way they present, how they see the cause and effect relationship, says that we believe in causes, we believe in the creator as well, but the creator is the elements of the matter itself. It means it itself is creating, but they don't see it clearly, say it. They are magicians. Really, I think about it, I read about their arguments, listen to them. They play with the word so cunningly, in a tricky way. You don't notice if you don't really look at it with a critical eye, what they are saying exactly. Difficult. So belief is connection to the source of existence, as our friends stated. Disbelief is, I mean, the text says cutting off this connection, but not seeing and choosing this connection exists. It means turning blind to the connection and reducing the existence of the thing by itself or to itself. That is unbelief. If someone says, I exist, it means by myself. Of course, I exist. Yes, I exist, but how? By myself, as my elements developed like this. It means within myself again. I remained within myself. I am not bringing any news from my source of existence. So I have to question, is it acceptable that the composing elements of the building can develop and make the building, simple building, not a human being, no, not an animal or plant, simple building, fixed, can you say? Or even not a building. If you see a wall, simple example, and you see the bricks on top of each other, and there is some cement used in between to make them connect, and with a certain shape for a certain purpose, for example, to block the wind, for example, consciously made, deliberately made, wisely made. Can you say that the bricks developed themselves into a wall, and in order to stay themselves there, that they put cement in between, however the cement happened to be there, developed, which is just a legend, isn't it? Now, in a simple wall, cannot happen logically. Billions of years, sorry, trillions of years cannot happen. They have no choice. They have no power to act on their own. Cannot happen. Time, however the time is long, however the accidents may happen perfectly matching, universe-wise, the accidents with no exception matched perfectly with each other. That is what they say. And without any shame, what they say, every single particle of the universe is entanglement. You know this word they use, the physicist word, the theory of not the theory of physical reality, entanglement. One of the person demonstrated it, this entanglement in the existence. It means physically in the lab demonstrated it and got the Nobel Prize. Why? One, I don't know what was it, electron or whatever it is, and here another electron in somewhere in the sky, maybe in solar system or in the galaxy, they are, one of them moves here, they keep the balance, not they are in perfect harmony with each other, in connection with each other, an entanglement, so that everything in the universe is completely interconnected in an entanglement form that none of them can be uh, individually taken out and be studied. You have to study one atom within the context of the universe. You cannot isolate it, because that is physical reality that we are experiencing now. And the same person claims that it happened by itself. Universe-wide, not only between two electrons, which is impossible. The electron here, the electron in somewhere in, I don't know, in other galaxy. They are interrelated with each other. He knows this, he experienced this, and still says accidental development. You know, they use this expression, or this wonderful arrangement of evolution in the nature of beings themselves.
Evolution, the nature of beings.
Yeah, in themselves. How it happened? Now, this is nothing but arrogance. So, sign of arrogance. That's what the Quran summarizes it. Yeah. That's very, the people became more arrogant because they claimed that they are self-sufficient. الرأى استغنى إن الإنسان إن إن الإنسان طغى رآه استغنى. Was it like this? كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى إن رآه استغنى. العلق. I don't know, 97th section of the Quran, surah of the Quran. So the four or five, fifth or fourth, the fifth ayah, verse. It's beautiful. Feriha Divine Arts suggested for Dominic, I think Dominic Divine Art. I think she has written in chat box. All right, thank you. Thank you.
I have a question.
Of course.
Nursing writes in this section that man is a miniature specimen of the universe.
Mhm.
And my question does it refer only to man, or can it be each and every element of the universe? I mean, like, for example, a flower or a bird.
Mhm.
Can those also be miniature specimens of the universe? Does it have to refer to man?
It is a very delicate, interesting question. It has, we will study this. We will go a bit into detail somewhere before we started this discussion. I was getting ready, reading, refreshing my mind, and underlying which are the points to be paid attention to. Then somewhere, but since it is the question now, we can talk. So, miniature, where was the miniature?
After names and inscriptions at the top.
Yeah, man. Now, we are human beings. And as you said, for example, a flower or a bird. So the difference, I myself can see in my existence that I can recognize the qualities of the Creator, manifested all of them in everywhere. I have this capacity. The difference is I have the capacity to be conscious of it. It means my spirit. That is why the author says, man is the miniature specimen of the universe relating to the capacity or potential of human side, which is called human spirit. But bodily wise, you are right. My body is the miniature specimen of the universe, equal to the flower or a bird, whose existence also a miniature specimen of the universe. I mean, different manifestations, different proportions, but giving the same news with the same capacity. But bird cannot recognize the manifestations of the qualities, manifestations of the qualities of the Creator in stars. Doesn't know. So I can, for example, experience sense of love and manifest it on another person. And I can experience sense of love and manifest it on another being. For example, go and love the flower. So protect it, feed it, but a flower doesn't have this quality to connect all the qualities of the creator manifested in its environment as much as it can communicate. As far as we see, we don't see this quality on a bird. Bird is concerned with its own capacity in its own existence, and that's it. But human beings, for example, express their feelings, demonstrate their qualities. For example, the human being, when they see their human qualities, reflections, being conscious of its existence, and reflecting his understandings on other beings, having a relationship with them. In this sense, the miniature specimen of the universe, because human beings are given the qualities to understand as we used the example of entanglement, they call it something entanglement. Uh, did you know the expression? Quantum entanglement, yes. Quantum entanglement, universe-wide consciousness of the having the consciousness of this universe-wide happening, wonderful, miraculous existence. Human beings are aware of it. This capacity is not human body's capacity. And also, all the names can be really deducted or detected by human qualities. It means I may not use it, but when I learn how to use it, when I use it, I realize that this quality exists within me.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yep.
So I have this conscious ability to see the manifestations of God in all things. I have the conscious ability of it, whereas, of course, birds or cats or don't have that conscious ability. But my follow-up question is, in my conscious ability, when I look at the creatures of the universe, can I perceive them as miniature specimens of the universe? My own perception, can I look at them and say that's a miniature specimen of the universe, a bird or a flower? Do you understand my question?
The physical side of it, you are correct. But a human spirit that is why I think the Quran says, he created, look at this phrase here, God, let's make it clear. God created to manifest all his names and their inscriptions in the form of a miniature specimen of the universe. That is what the description of it. But created to manifest all his names, but in a spirit, in the form of a spirit, which is what the Quran says. وعلم الأسماء وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها. It means it's a kind of teaching. This manifestation of spirit in human being is a kind of teaching, introducing himself and giving the capacity to human beings to get to know who the creator of the universe is. Rabbul Alamin, Lord of the or sustainer of the universe is. Whereas a bird or flower manifests in their existence the qualities of their creator, whether they are conscious of these qualities manifested in them, doesn't seem to be. But doesn't matter. Human beings have the spirit which is given this quality by its creator, but that doesn't mean that I am equal to universe. Yes, in my potential, I am equal to the universe, but if I don't appreciate it, if I don't accept it, I become like a bird or flower. A kind of physical side are the same, animal. Cut off the relationship. That's why belief, it means being honest to my reality is essential. I don't
Okay,
know.
thank you. Yeah, no, that's very helpful. Thank you.
So we have to use our spiritual side, inshallah. It means our qualities of all human qualities and understand the manifestations of the Creator's qualities on the universe and look at the bird and I say, this is the creation of the one who created the whole universe, because I understand that a bird can exist only within the context of the whole universe. I cannot isolate it from the rest of the universe in its existence. So I have to attribute the existence of the bird to the creator of not the bird, but to the creator of the universe. That capacity we see that human beings are given to understand this. Now, what shall we do?
Generally, they present this concept like let's looking at a bird and they keep talking about the bird, basically,
Hmm.
right? Then I'm seeing it as yes, every quality is bringing the news from the maker of the bird, the owner of the bird, right? But I say, yeah, of course, they say, okay, yeah, we know that, but then they keep continuing discussing. You know, even in the Muslim context, they say, yeah, we already know that it is made by God, but let's go focus on this. You know, that's the thing that we struggle with actually a lot.
So we have to be consciously relate to the universe, to the creator of the universe, seeing the qualities manifested in the bird. Now, without seeing the qualities and really relating it, connecting it to the creator of the whole universe and seeing which kind of qualities are manifesting. A bird is an antique, a piece of antique. So we shouldn't take it simply saying that, oh, everything is created by God. I think you meant this. It is very simplistic.
Yeah.
But inshallah, that's what we are training ourselves here. Feriha, go ahead.
Following up on the friend's comment about, even superficially, we'll be saying, yeah, anything we observe, I know it's created by its creator, or the apple is created by its creator. Yeah, I know I'm created by its creator. And when you mention about like being conscious in terms of like, what is this knowledge or this awareness bringing to my being? I think that's where belief lies. And also like, I mean, we can even use this word consciousness loosely, like, but I think the whole idea, from what I understand, the friend's comment was, okay, so what do I do with, this awareness, or working out what would this awareness of knowing that anything I'm interacting with is from its creator. I think that's what we need to work on. In terms of it should enlighten me about, whoa, check out my source of existence or my creator. He's a really majestic one, or he's like really like Allahu Akbar, like, you know, the like a big entity that I cannot compare to anything of this universe. I'm thinking of it in this way. It should like bring some sort of excitement within my spirit, that this consciousness and awareness.
Yeah. We can only say Allahu Akbar. Thank you. So the time's up. I think we should stop here. What do you
Yeah, it's a good place to stop because the next section is in contrast
Yeah,
to unbelief.
unbelief. Now let me mark this one. Let's what unbelief makes. And here is we studied belief. Yeah, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة سر